Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 11. This episode, as you've seen by the title, is about SMT divergence. It's a word that it's been thrown around all over the trading community, and it's actually not that hard to get, but could be really powerful as confirmation for your entries and to understand which pair is stronger, which pair maybe to enter. So let's get into it. So now I'm watching NQ. Okay, so it's Friday. Now it's Sunday, but market's closed. This was Friday, and usually when you trade NQ, you want to also look at ES and also sometimes at Dow. Just to look at Dow. Not always, but a lot of times. And so you kind of want to look at ES, what it's doing, how it's behaving, and everything like that. So basically, SMT divergence is when, let's draw, always fun to draw. Okay, it's doing like this. Okay, so let's say this is NQ. Okay, so NQ is moving higher, is doing higher highs. Okay, but what's ES doing? Maybe ES does this. Okay, so what's the difference between those movements? Okay, so in this case, ES takes this low. Say we were like this. Okay, so in this case, ES takes this low here. Let's say here we didn't touch it. Okay, so this low, okay, and this low, you can see this is a higher low, this is a lower low, okay, because here we broke and we maybe in this case we wicked to get the low and then we continue to move higher because the direction is higher. But on NQ we didn't take the low, okay, so you can say here this is called SMT. Okay, SMT. So basically in this case SMT is very simple concept actually, is that when we have a bullish bias, when we think that NQ is stronger and ES takes a low and NQ doesn't, this is basically the SMT. It could be the same for when you're searching for shorts, okay? So in this case, let's say you wanna, again, let's do the example, Q and so in this case again NQ doesn't take the high but ES does take the high, okay, so it's not that difficult of a concept. Is usually when you search for divergence between the pairs and you want to look who takes highs or low and who doesn't. So in this case, NQ, let's say this is NQ, is weaker, okay? So because it didn't have the strength to take the high while ES did, so you better to enter shorts here. And the contrary works here. ES took the low and NQ was stronger and it didn't even arrive to take the low and kept going higher, okay? So that's basically SMTs. You can have higher time frame SMTs. You can have lower time frame SMTs. They can be found everywhere. You can find a 1 minute, 15 minute, 5. You just need to know how to spot the ones that are important. Okay, so now if you go on the chart and you see some SMTs, not that it's always SMT, like you don't have to search always for it. It's just let's say a confirmation or added analysis to your trade. But if I can try to see one, in this case, okay, in this case London got taken. Okay, in this case here both NQ and ES took Asia, took a PM low. In this case here, let's say here, okay, both also here. In this case I could find it, but like you have to go a little bit in and try to find SMT. But as again, what I said, basically SMTs, divergence, the name says, are divergence between the pairs. And so when you want to look also if you want to take shorts, if you want to take longs, who's weaker or who's stronger. So you don't want to enter the stronger pair when the pair is weaker, okay? So you don't want to enter longs on ES here because it's shown that it's a bit weaker, okay? While NQ didn't even go to get the low and kept grinding higher, and we have an SMT. And the contrary is said for that example. Also, another bonus is that when you see, especially on Tradeovate, so I suggest you to get Tradeovate, you can put two charts of NQ and ES. You can put just like in the middle of it. Like let's say here we have NQ and here we have ES. Especially on Tradeovate, when the candles are forming, you can see that maybe NQ prints a bullish candle, like a big engulfing candle, and NQ and ES just prints a small bullish candle, or the contrary. So you can also see how the candles form on both pairs if you do this setting on Tradeovate. If you want to know how to do it, I'll do a dedicated video. But yeah, it was also to add to the SMT to see who's stronger, who's weaker. So basically SMTs are either confirmation for your trades. You don't always need an SMT. Some people like to think that you always need it, or SMT. Yeah, they're nice, they're just added, and this becomes technically a protected low, and this becomes technically a protected high. The church decided to the bell of the church. I hope you cannot hear them as much, but I'm almost finished. And so yeah, basically it's not that difficult of a concept. It's just these two things here. We'll go more depth in the advanced concepts, and also do more live examples. But basically SMT diverges, as I already said 5 times, diverges between pairs, and you have to know who's weaker, who's stronger. And if you want to aim for shorts, you have to go to a weaker pair. If you want longs, you have to go to a stronger pair. Sometimes they just move together and nothing changes, but a lot of times one is stronger or weaker than the other. You kind of have to spot it also in candle formations. When the candle are printing on the 1 minute, on the 2 minute, you can kind of see who's printing bigger, stronger candles, who's printing weaker candles. So you can also see that and add to your confirmation here. So yeah, I hope that this brief video will be useful to you. Trying to go through a bit faster and not yap that much between the concepts, just because you can kind of also see on Instagrams, you can explain this in 30 seconds, but I just want to repeat sometimes and show maybe some examples here. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.